Hello, everybody. This is Alchemisted. I am joined tonight by Andrew Hyde of the Temporal Directive, and also joining me is Amveculus and Lordice from Special Tactics. And today we are... God damn it, we weren't going to do another roundtable until like Season 8. Today...
So much for that.
So much for
Dan
that.
Stahl opened his mouth.
Apparently we have breaking news, so...
Daniel Stahl said stuff. People didn't like it. But that's getting ahead of ourselves. So, today is the 14th of February, and the most recent patch just went live today, and had quite a few things in it that people didn't like. So before we go on to Daniel Stahl, we're going to kind of like talk about the things... some of the things that happened in the recent patch. And one of the first things that comes to mind is something that Andrew was particularly pissed off about, though I kind of like talked you down from this a little bit, is the nerfing of Tricobalts. The damage has been reduced by half, but the cooldown has been reduced by half as well.
You know, I'm not a huge Tricobalt fan, and mainly because of a lot of different things, mainly the cooldowns. But the Tricobalts were good for science vessels because they allowed them to really put out a lot of damage. Even if it's over time, it's still a lot of damage. And the way they did this just, it really irked, because it's not half, if you look at it from the actual perspective. You lose a lot more damage because of the way they did it. It's the overtime damage, yeah, it's supposedly half, but you do lose about 38 to 39%, especially if you're running the mine build that a lot of people are really popular about. They're really, I mean, they're nerfed to all get out.
So how I talked him down a little bit from how angry he was about this before is I kind of pointed out that the Romulan Hyperplasma Torpedo is really great when paired with other weapon types. Like
it is.
I pair it with Quantums, and I fire out like 3 plasma torpedoes per shot with plasma, and then I high yield like quantum torpedoes, and it works really well. So I kind of like off the top of my head, I just thought of like, why don't you just machine gun Tricobalts with the Romulan Hyperplasma Torpedo Launcher and just machine gun death at things with like 30 plus plasma procs and like Tricobalts constantly hitting them. But the thing is, there are two big caveats with that. Is A, it requires you to actually get the Romulan Hyperplasma Torpedo Launcher.
Tier 4 ROM rep.
Yeah, requires you to get to Tier 4 ROM rep, and it also requires... It still doesn't really fix the issue with people who were dedicated Tricobalt users who now must feel a little bit like crap. It's possible you can run like 2 Tricobalts, like forward-facing torpedoes. That's what I do. But as for the mines, I don't know. Like, would you combine that with a plasma proc, or how would you...
You know, funny about the Hyper Torpedo, I don't really need the ship that I run since I'm in the Dreadnought. It's really nasty with the plasma torpedoes because with 2 wings of Scorpion fighters, you can literally put out a wall of plasma torpedoes. Amveculus saw what my plasma torpedo build can do. He kind of was scared.
Yeah, that's pretty beast.
Kill it with fire.
Oh yeah, it's not. You know, you don't need a lot of them to hit because they don't. Or you need a lot of them to hit. They don't hurt much. They really don't. It's just having 87 plasma fires on at one time is just not nice.
You gotta stay on your toes while dealing with the player.
It's totally balanced.
Oh yeah, but you know, in
working
in
as
PvP,
intended,
it's not easy. It's very easy to overcome with one thing of cannon scatter volley. It really completely mitigates the effectiveness of them.
Tricobalts had the same problem anyways.
Yeah, but with the I mean, Tricobalts, it's one slow-moving torpedo. You know, you got 38 chasing you at one time. If you know, I mean, even fire at will works fine with the plasma torpedoes, but so it's not. It's more of a PvE weapon. Plus, everybody's running, you know, high plasma resists anyway, so it's not going to do it. It's the burning proc that that really matters with them, but I mean, it's hazard emitters. Everybody runs it now
Yeah.
because of STFs.
And
So-
because eject warp plasma is pretty popular in PvP.
Oh yeah, it is, but it's irritating in PvP. I hate eject warp plasma. It's if you've ever done Karat as a KDF, it sucks when the match resets. You want to be cloaked. If not, you're screwed because when you go back in on Karat, all the people that have eject warp plasma use it, and you're basically a sitting duck in a ship that has paper-thin hull.
I remember people on the forums talking about how Klingons are absolutely screwed in Karat now.
Oh no, it's so. I mean, if you have bad team, maybe, but we were in Karat Tuesday night, and me and Grant died once each, and we had about 30 kills. We just did the hunter-killer tactics, and it's not that hard to. You know, the only downside is there's a lot of people in the bug ship, and the bug ship is so broken, it's ridiculous. I mean, we had a couple times 5 people shooting at the same ship, and it would not die.
So
The
aside
Dominion has endured for 2,000 years. It will continue to do so.
aside from the Tricobalt, you were talking about how the Dederidex has now been brutally nerfed.
I mean, I understand the viral matrix. I really do. That is a very irritating skill. And it's understandable in PvP. Why can't they just make it a simple... You don't need to nerf it. This simple. You can't use it in PvP. It grays out when you go into a PvP match.
That should kind of
How hard is
happen
that?
with pets in general in PvP. Because PvP, like, somebody, like... I'm not one for, like, I'm not one of those, like, stop having fun guys who's like, you can't use this. Like if you're playing, like, Tekken, fuck you if you use Eddie. No. But, you know, I'm not one of those guys. I'm not one of the guys who would chant Fox Falco Final Destination, but somebody really needs to impose some kind of moratorium on the insanity of PvP if they want to save it.
The problem is if you just outright ban pets, nobody will play carriers anymore. At all.
But the Romulan Dederidex isn't a pet. And the other thing, it's a 15-minute cooldown, and it's survivable to a point, but really... One halfway
for all
decent
better than
for all
Yeah.
intents and purposes in gameplay terms, it's a pet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
I mean-
something you spawn.
Yeah, but you can't ban all pets because then what's the point of having a carrier?
Exactly, that's what I just said.
And oh yeah, I know, but I mean, I'm just saying, if you don't want the Dederidex in PvP, simple, gray it out. You can't use it. I mean, it can't be that hard. I mean, they have a mission where you can't use any of your skills. How hard can it be to ban one simple thing instead of nerfing it to oblivion?
And if you want to get storyline about it, the Romulans aren't involved in the war between the Federation and the Klingons. Why are they warping in to aid one side
Well,
or the other?
if you want to get storyline in it, the Federation and Klingons aren't particularly involved with the war between the Federation and the Klingons. So
True enough.
You know, we were actually funny enough that we're talking about PvP right now because we had a big fleet discussion about it earlier and its nature in the game right now. What there needs to be is different tiers of PvP. One that's basically everything's allowed. You can use whatever you want, however you want it. Then we need one that has no...
You mean the oh shit mode?
I have a lot of
Oh shit the server?
no, I mean like oh shit buttons and antimatter spread. All the unpopular consoles, ban them. You can't use any pay-to-win consoles. You can only use consoles that boost abilities and
that's
stuff.
never going to happen.
I understand, but this is the way we were talking about it, is if you want to really make it so everybody, and I'm doing this in massive air quotes, everybody is happy, have different tiers of PvP. Everything open. And then another one, no pay-to-win consoles. Another one, no lockbox ships. Another one, only RA standard ships. Make it different tiers so people have, I don't want to go against, a full team of bug ships.
Well,
okay.
only RA standard ships is pretty wide, though. You'd probably just limit that to, only, similar levels instead of, RA standard.
Well, when I say, what I meant was no C-store ships, basically. No C-store ships. Just ships that you get for free.
And that is very easily circumvented.
So?
I have a fleet exploration cruiser retrofit. That's not a C-store ship. You can obtain it.
Technically,
you can. No, it isn't because
No,
you can obtain it.
It's well that that's
You can
still
obtain
is
it in the game without spending a
Oh.
single C-store point or piece of dilithium.
Yeah,
You
it's-
have to buy fleet ship modules.
Yeah, but you can get that off
he
the
does
exchange.
he has the proper point. He's saying that, well, then it's basically no fleet ships, no, it has to be either a mirror version ship or or just a tier 5, just one of the, or tier 4.5 ships, as they're very popularly called now.
That's going to be incredibly empty, though.
Oh, no, that's why I'm saying, if you want that, it's not a perfect idea. It was more of just, a bunch of fleet mates just talking how should they balance PvP, and that's the idea I came up with. I don't think it's particularly smart or they'll ever do anything like that, but that's just the way I see it as being a good medium, or at least something. It's more or less, it really is a thought.
Yeah.
Because lockbox ships are incredibly broken. I mean, and it seems with every new lockbox, the next ship is just more broken than the last.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we start out, the gem ship is just the most broken ship in this game. There's no doubt about it. 5 tactical, 4 engineering, 34,500 hull, a 1 shield modifier, and 2 lieutenant ensign slots. That's really overpowered, and a turn rate of 20, just shy of a BOP's turn rate. Has 10,000 more hull and .12 shield mod better over the best BOP, one of the best fleet BOPs. So
At this point, I'm just waiting for them to just drop the pretense and introduce the SDF-1. Just fuck it.
and then there's just, but you literally look, what was the first lockbox ship after the bug ship? The Galor, right?
Yeah.
Okay, the Galor is pretty balanced, actually. It's a solid cruiser. The Decora is pretty broken. You can have insane power levels on that ship, especially if you're an engineer. Then you got the Mobius and the Wells. No, the Orb Weaver and the Recluse. A little less broken. Actually, the Recluse is the best pure engineer carrier in the game. Insane shield mod, and it's almost unkillable in the hands of a good engineer. Then the Mobius and the Wells. That's where it truly started showing how broken they can make ships. The oh shit button, full, almost better than Miracle Worker, and it resets all your skills. And an AOE sub nuke and attack pattern Omega if you're in the Mobius or the Wells. And now with the Jem'Hadar Dreadnought and the Jem'Hadar Heavy Escort Carrier, they've just taken it to a whole nother level of broken. I fly the Dreadnought. I know how broken it is. And they really, and the Jem'Hadar Dreadnought Carrier, in my opinion, is the best carrier that you can get for the Feds. It outshines the Aatrox by like leaps and bounds. The only reason the Klingon carriers are better is their pets are just, now if you have the Jem'Hadar attack ship pets, then it truly is the best carrier, because those things are just insanely broken. They have like 33,000 hull.
Okay.
Balance is like a vase. They knocked it over and shattered it into a dozen pieces.
Yeah.
Now with the Dominion lockbox, they've gathered up that pile of debris and stomped on it into a fine powder.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're not talking about the lockbox though, so let's get back on topic with the release.
That never works too well with us.
So they also buffed the attack ships a little bit.
Yep, made them faster, harder to hit, and now all carrier pets that use cannons prefer their cannons. They will use them, and they will be deadly.
Yeah. So, aside from that, there was also one really big thing that happened this patch. One really, really big thing that has people mildly upset.
Explain to me, as if I were a child.
Aren't you?
Oh, you didn't get the Galaxy Quest reference?
It's been years since I've seen that movie. But yes, I'll go on.
Okay, so the Foundry Daily, as we have known it, as has existed in various forms for since the inception of the Foundry?
No, well, yeah, but Season 6 is when you got the Fleet Mark boost.
Yeah, Season 6 is when they got the Fleet Mark boost, but the Foundry Daily itself has been around far longer.
Oh, yeah. Since I've been in the game.
That mission is gone.
Yep.
It is
They
dead.
murdered it.
It is gone. It is
So-
history.
It's dead, Jim.
Completely gone.
Completely.
Just gone.
That's great.
So in its
Yeah.
place, you will receive a scaling amount of dilithium and energy credits for
Based on
completing
how long you take.
based on what the average play time of a Foundry mission is and how long you take playing it, and the max is the same amount as the old Foundry
Old.
Daily.
Yeah.
The max
I don't
amount of
know the
dilithium you can
ECM.
get.
Yes, the parlor earlier, and it doesn't give fleet marks anymore at all.
No.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah. So yeah, some people are somewhat upset at this.
I'm upset. I hadn't heard about this before.
Oh, don't worry, it gets worse.
Or better, depending on... uh... Bad juju coming. So yeah, that mission is gone. In its place, you will receive dilithium for doing Spotlight and regular Foundry missions, depending on how long you take, and that is for only qualifying missions, mind you. Is the average time, the average playtime rule is still in effect, forcing Foundry authors to have to wait to get their average playtime, because Foundry authors can only test their missions at level 1 and have to use an instant kill command to kill enemies, meaning they can't complete their own missions too fast while testing them, or they will destroy them for this. They will destroy any rewards any players could ever get for playing their missions, which lowers the chances people will actually play them up front.
I see no reason to play most Foundry missions now.
You know, it's funny because I was on Twitter right after the patch landed, and one of the guys from Starbase UGC, I posted something about way to kill, I think I said, way to kill small fleets cryptic, and he responded to me, and we had a pretty honest discussion between me and Oliver Smith is his name, from Starbase UGC, I believe, is the podcast he's with.
Mm-hmm.
And I told him, you know, in the end it hurts smaller fleets, and I said instead of nerfing this into oblivion, why don't they just give us a tool? He's like, well, what about all those exploit missions? And I said, then just make it simple. Instead of nerfing it, give us a tool to report these cheating Foundry missions. Instead of truly making this horrible, how hard is that? That's my question.
You know what was nice about those
Apparently
shitty
impossible.
Foundry missions, though?
What's that?
Is because you got your daily, you got your shit out of the way, then you can actually play the fun Foundry missions.
Yeah, you know, and
So
even
they could get played for once.
and even Battleship Royal Rumble, which I've heard a lot of people complaining about. You play that with 5 people on Elite, and it becomes a challenge, and it's actually a lot of fun to
I
sit with.
soloed it on an Elite without a challenge.
Well, you do it
As a
with 5.
tank.
Yeah, well, there were 5 of us, and every wave spawns 2 ships, and Dreadnought and a regular ship, and it was. I found it insanely fun with the 5 fleet mates that we ran it with, and it took us like 45 minutes.
We'll have to do that sometime.
But now it's just like, okay, I think personally this is going to hurt the Foundry, the legitimate Foundry authors,
Oh,
more than it's going to hurt the cheaters. Because they'll figure out that any way you do it, you know, back when the 1440 that you got, they had the console clicky missions. You know, and then they're like, no, we can't do those anymore. And then you got the grinder missions, which were basically you stand in one spot and your boss kill everything, and you go make a sandwich. But I'm gonna bet you there's gonna be another one of those missions up within the next day or two.
Oh yes.
It's ridiculous.
There's going to be a mission where
Yeah,
you do a map transition into a room and you wait for like 40 minutes and then you push the button and you're done.
Yeah, there you go. And you kill one wave.
Minimize.
You kill
and
one
you
wave of
minimize
enemies.
snow and start watching YouTube videos.
Yeah, you kill one wave of enemies to sate the blood gods of Cryptic, and then you press a console and you're done. after like 40 minutes. That's what's
Yeah.
going to happen. Here's
Yeah.
the thing. Here's the thing. And this is something I've said it again and again. I played the original Neverwinter Nights all the time. I played Halo 3 and I played tons of Forge maps all the time. I played all kinds of stuff with custom map features. Time Splitters 2, my circle of friends in like high school, we used to like trade maps between each other. You know, we used to like trade memory cards with maps on it and play on each other's maps and like stuff. And like as far back as long as there has been user-generated content tools, there has been stuff like this. This is not new. It is not going away. This is something that is always going to happen. You're always going to have this. You're never going to get rid of it. Now, you can either constantly attempt to get rid of it and ruin everything for everybody else in the process,
Which is what they're doing.
or you could just let people do their stuff. And I get where they're coming from here, because you can get dilithium from these and it's monetized, and that's how they pay their rent. That's how they pay their power bills. I get where you're coming from for that. But what you're doing is not the right way to go about it. Like, I remember like Halo 3 Forge maps. People would create Forge maps that would spawn them with a Spartan laser and spawn everybody else in a straight line in front of them, and they would kill everyone, and their stats would go up like crazy. You know, I'm pretty damn sure that people were doing that in Halo 4 as well. So,
Oh yeah, you know it.
So
I mean, it's the truth. No matter what, you know, if you have user, look at Skyrim, and I'm talking, you know, go to a single player game. Look at how many cheat mods there are.
yeah,
Actually, no, not just any Bethesda game that they've released with the tool set. You're gonna find mods that let you cheat and let you have a lot of fun, and then you're gonna find, you know, and you'll have fun with those for a couple days, and then you're gonna go and you're like, wow, this is great. Let me go see what I can do. Let me go find a fun mod that makes my game harder, or let me go do this. Let me go do that. And it's the same with the Foundry, you know. Somebody's going to do Battleship Royal Rumble or one of the grinder missions, and they're going to be like, oh, okay, this is fun a couple times. I mean, it's fun killing a bunch of waves of enemies. How about let me go try one of Captain Revel. Oh, what's this mission? Worst of All Worlds. Oh, this looks fun. Let me do this. So it's I don't know.
That's my point. It allowed people to get their much-needed shit out of the way first, and then actually go do a fun mission.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that they've destroyed it is beyond me. It was fine back in the day when you did it once. What I would do was I'd go to Soul System. I'd do the Foundry daily. I'd click the button. I'd get my shit, or I'd do an actual mission. And I would get the daily, like 60 fleet marks, however many dilithium, and then go do the midterm thing, and that was it. I was done there for the day.
Yeah, and you could go
That
do
was fine.
Yeah, but you know, and then they changed. They changed.
Where they went wrong is that they broke it. It's like you could do it like 9-10 times in a row.
there's two big concerns that Daniel Stahl is going to be talking about once we start reading through his post. The first concern is that people were getting their fleet marks more from the Foundry daily than from the actual fleet content. Well, the way you
which is believable considering
Yeah.
content doesn't give very many.
No, it
No.
doesn't.
Yeah.
Like on a good starbase incursion, you can get 40 fleet marks. On a good colony invasion, you can get 30. On a good Federation fleet alert, you can get 20. But those
That's
are
assuming you don't pug them.
I've gotten those pugging them
Oh no, I've gotten those, you know, going in with,
all the
by my-
time during
Yeah,
the
it's-
fleet event.
yeah.
But if you want to make that more appealing than the Foundry for fleet marks, why don't you up the amount of fleet marks they reward?
Yeah. There's no reason to do it.
Yeah.
You're
And
just-
then
you're just-
people
you're
will
warping
stop
into
playing the
to an
Foundry for
instance
fleet
that
marks,
has-
and they'll play your actual fleet content for fleet marks. And the other concern is people are getting crazy amounts of dilithium from this Foundry daily, and that, you know, I understand where you're coming from there. like the lock boxes and the monetization. As much as people may complain, this is how you're paying your rent. They were talking about this in their massively in their Priority 1 interview. As much as people complain about this is how you're paying your bills. So you can hopefully deliver more content with your now 40+ man team that is along the lines of quality that Temporal Ambassador was. If that's the bar you're shooting for, I understand why you're doing this. But as we'll discover as we read through Daniel Stahl's comments, if you were going to do this, you could have fixed this easily by adding fleet marks to the actual fleet stuff and making them reward more. And if, as far as Dan's comments go, if you were going to do this, this was not the right time to do it. As we're going to find out. But now I want to read through his comments, now that you understand what's just transpired.
I wish I didn't.
Oh, it gets better. We're going to read through Daniel Stahl's. Daniel Stahl made a post on the forums to try and smooth over everybody's ruffled feathers and try and explain the thought process behind their actions, why they did them, and what the way they intend for fleets to work. So hold on to your butt, Imvaculus, because this is gonna be a ride for you.
I'm not nearly drunk enough for this shit.
I'm beaming over some booze now.
Yeah,
Please.
we're gonna need a lot of it.
Wait.
Hey, look,
Guys,
people are having fun.
We will need more hemp before we're through.
guys, listen. Watch.
Was that a head desk?
No, that was the sound of my bottle touching the desk. Listen.
Please don't be terrible.
Please don't spike your SodaStream stuff.
Yeah, that stuff is awesome. Anyway.
I'm not spiking shit. I have the bottle here.
Oh, God.
Oh. So every time Daniel Stahl lies through his teeth, let's take a shot.
How about let's not?
This is the good shit from the Philippines, too.
Oh, dear
That's what I
God.
told you about?
Oh.
Oh, I think
It's a good
Imvaculus
thing-
is gonna die
apple
tonight.
It's a good thing I've got apple juice.
Please don't take a shot, dude.
Yeah, we're kidding.
Fine.
Anyways.
Not.
Anyway, so I like to before we start, I like to say I have nothing against Dan Stahl. In fact, I kind of feel for Dan Stahl here with he's trying to do right by trying to smooth over everybody's ruffled feathers here, but dude, you could have waited a day. You could have given it some more time so that cooler heads may have prevailed, because the forum topic that he posted, and it's already huge, and it's only been a couple hours.
I just checked. It's 23 pages long.
Shit. It was only 7 pages not very long ago.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So anyways,
And it's been up for about 2 hours.
Let's get started. Daniel Stahl, Cryptic Studios team, Star Trek Online forums, greetings! There has been a lot of talk lately about the changes to the Foundry Daily mission, and I wanted to take some time to give a comprehensive and complete overview of why we made this decision. Fleet Mark. Oh, don't worry. Fleet marks were introduced in Season 6 as a reward that could be used by fleets to advanced fleet holdings. Due to the fact that fleet marks are spent by fleets to advance fleet holdings, it is intended that fleet marks are to be rewarded for completing fleet-based gameplay. We monitor the amount of fleet marks earned by each character and each player every day. We do so for game design reasons to ensure that the amount of progress fleets are making on fleet holdings is as expected. After the release of Season 7, we noticed that the amount of fleet marks players were earning per day started declining. As we expected, it was mostly due to the introduction of new content and the new reputation system. Players were now spending less time in missions that granted fleet marks and more time in missions that granted dilithium and rep marks. We adjusted this at the time by adding fleet marks to the Foundry and Fleet Action dailies. The Foundry daily subsequently was turned into a 30-minute repeatable, which was not very long ago, mind you. Which was a month, if that?
It's been a couple months. When did Season 7 launch? November? It's been like 2 months, I think. I think they did it in early December.
Yeah. which made Foundry missions an amazingly easy source of fleet marks. But because of the drop in fleet marks at the time, we left it in as a temporary bonus that would last up through our anniversary. Concurrently, we also closed a major loophole in Foundry missions in Season 7, which removed dilithium rewards from what many considered exploitative, keep this in mind, I'd like to know what many he was referring to, considered exploitative Foundry missions. Literally, log in and click a button and get a boatload of dilithium missions. The number of
boat? Are you serious?
He says a boat, yeah, a boat.
Are you a boat?
Spell check.
Made of dilithium.
The tiniest rowboat that was ever tiny.
A dilithium rowboat, yes. The number of players who were exploiting this type of mission was vast. First of all, it's were vast. Second of all, if the number of players exploiting this type of mission were vast, who are the many you're talking about who considered it exploitative?
Yeah,
I think that there's a Venn diagram that would overlap because of this, because I considered it exploitative, but I still did it.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't... at first, I really hated the clicky missions. You know, and this is when I believe when our star base was still at tier 1.
Mm-hmm.
And then it got to tier 2, and I noticed the grind was starting to take hold. And, you know, I started doing them. You know, and then I created my other characters, and they started doing them, but... You know, when you're trying to grind as much dilithium as it takes to get to tier 4, and now, you know, now we're 3 days away from starting our science tier 4, and that's another 900,000 dilithium.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not to mention the 750,000 that we have for our, that's going for our the tier 3, one of the tier 3 embassy upgrades. Then, you know, once our other one gets to gets to its thing, that's another 750,000. So, you know, and then we have the actual embassy getting that to tier 3. That's another, how much is that? That's another,
Metric shit ton.
yeah, that's another 2.5 million, I believe. Yeah, you know, this grind is starting to get a wee bit ridiculous. But forgive me, I am digressing.
And it gets worse because he kind of addressed.
Yeah. Anywho.
Hang on, Skype's acting up a little bit. So yeah.
I'm hosting, right?
Yeah, you're hosting. All right.
That's what I thought.
Okay. Ambiculus has muted for a little bit.
Yeah.
As I do when I have a really bad cough.
So until he gets back, so that's the first thing that really caught my eye in this, though, is he talks about how many considered it exploitative, and he says that in like big, like important quotes, and then he says that the number of people using the type of mission was vast.
There is an overlapping Venn diagram there. I considered it exploitative, and I used the exploit.
Yeah, it's...
So, like many may have considered it exploitative, but not very many considered it harmful, is probably the distinction.
It was beneficial.
That's the distinction we need to make here, is there's a difference between exploitative and harmful to a game. Some person making a, like, for example, back to Neverwinter Nights, some person making a module just to level them up to a character who's level 20, you know, so they can have, like, their godly fucking, like, fighter or cleric or monk before starting the main quest as this badass adventurer, or, like, playing to Hordes of the Underdark, because Hordes of the Underdark is pretty glitchy, and you may want to just power your way through the first act. You know, it's exploitative, like something that I did in Neverwinter Nights all the time is I would make a custom module, fill it with incredibly like advanced gear, like stuff with like really high enhancement bonuses, stuff with like magic objects that had unlimited uses per day, that like fired chain lightning that would kill anything in a room as like an oh shit button, you know, and then I'd roll a fighter. Starting this module I just made, get all my gear, and then start the game. That was exploitative.
Yeah.
That was exploitative.
But it wasn't harmful.
But it wasn't harmful to the experience of the game.
I don't know.
So 1,000 dilithium per
For
day.
pressing a button.
Per
No, it
every
was 1440 for the
well 14.
the original.
Let's look at the original. 1440 dilithium a day. Is
And
that
all you have to do is interact once because you pick
yeah,
up
but,
three
yeah,
missions.
not even talking about that. But 1440 dilithium a day, every 20 hours. How harmful was that?
I mean,
Apparently pretty harmful.
Yeah,
When you consider people are getting it anyways playing regular Foundry missions or these per-click missions, they're still getting the same amount of dilithium per day that you
Yeah.
expect them to get from this daily. So who is being harmed here?
yeah, it's. I mean,
Cryptic's bottom line.
you know, and it's
No,
funny
not
they
even.
say that. Oh,
They
it's because people
they
had
expect
30
you.
alts.
Not even Lord Ice. They expect you to do this once a day. It's a daily. They expect you to play a Foundry mission once a day and get this sum of dilithium from it.
It was
once
3
a
Foundry
day.
missions, the original.
Yeah.
I mean, but you know,
But
they're
they
saying, oh,
expect
it's because people had 30 alts, and you know they do it 30 times a day, and
So how
you know,
does this stop that?
it's just stupid. No, I'm sorry. In the end, it's just what's next? Are they going to take away our ability to use the DOF, CXP to fleet marks? Because you know that's got to be exploitive. Because look how much how much fleet marks are.
That's how I get them.
Oh yeah, no, that's how I get 90% of my fleet marks are through the doffing.
I get like
I
a
mean,
good 75, and I usually have like more than one DOF category because I'm tier 4
yeah.
on almost everything.
Yeah, I'm
So-
tier. You know, I'm the same. I'm tier 5 or tier 4 in all the CXPs.
Better
And,
not be
you-
tier 5 in Commendation XP. Shit. I didn't know you could do that.
Not yet.
Not yet. Yeah, like I said, you know, I'm tier 4 in all of them, just like a lot of people in my fleet are, and a lot of people that know what they're doing with the DOFs. That's how our fleet projects really get finished, because that's what they're doing. You know, they're doing a lot of the easy ones to level up, which are engineering, military, and science. And usually once a day they can get 3 of them to three of those to 110,000 a day, and that's how we've gotten most of our fleet marks. That's how most of us that know what the DOF system is. That's how we get our fleet marks, because it's simple. But God knows they probably think that's an exploit too.
I'd like to go back to something one of you was talking about is like having like 37 characters running this daily.
Yeah.
Here's the thing with that. 37 character slots costs a lot of money.
Yeah,
If someone wants to pay you that much money to play this, to do something they consider exploitative but not harmful to your game, you are turning down a massive sum of money.
Oh yeah,
to do
you know
that.
What's really funny about all of this? One of our fleet mates, Zard, he was, because of the way this Foundry, he was about to buy 4 more character slots. That's $10. That's $10 they would have had they left this alone. He saw that. I posted it on our fleet's Facebook page, and he's like, "Well, Cryptic just lost $10."
There goes that sale.
And same thing with Jaeger. Jaeger, our biggest contributor, he was gonna buy 4 more fleet. 4 more. Another 4. That's $20 they just lost out on because they wanted to be stupid about it.
I was considering picking up the Jupiter uniform sometime soon, and I'm debating whether or not I'm going to do that now.
Well,
because this is bad. This is
our-
bad business decision.
I would recommend,
our fleet-
recommend buying the
my
Jupiter
fleet
because that's a
leader-
good value for how much you're paying for it.
Yeah, no, actually, those are pretty BA costumes. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
That's one of the few things
especially
that
you're a
lifetimer.
lifetimer.
How cool they look.
You're a lifetimer, Lord Ice, so you're going to get a spectacular amount of value for
Oh,
that
yeah,
because
you
I
you're
know.
literally.
I already saw them on you. That's what made me consider it.
I
have
know,
them
but
as
you're
well.
not just getting like 5
You get
costumes
12
out of
total
that.
costumes.
You get like 12 out of that if you're a lifetimer because of your veteran
Oh
awards.
crap!
Yeah.
I can buy that right now.
You
Yeah,
get like
you
the
get-
silver
you get-
and gold variants as well. So you
Yeah,
get like
they look
tons.
really- You didn't see me in my all black uniform with the gold
Yeah, I
shoulders?
saw that.
Yeah, you get like 12 or 13 uniforms.
Yeah.
For being,
And I just realized my stipend came in early. I can get that now.
yeah, it's our stipends coming at the same time. That's funny.
I'm an LTS. I got it for Christmas last year.
Oh, I got mine when the Chimera went on sale because, well, you know, I think that was right before Season 7. Yeah, that was right before Season 7 launched because, funny story on this one. Alk literally talked me down. I was livid with Season 7. Alk calmed me way down. I was literally, I had logged out, I told my fleet mates, I'm done. I gave, I'm not going to say what I did. I logged out, and, you know, I just told Alk how pissed I was, and me and him talked for, like, you know, 20, 30 minutes, and that's when we did our Season 7 roundtable. Just to, like...
You almost quit.
Yeah, I mean, even, Alk posted it on Twitter. What are you doing, Stowe? You guys almost lost. And if you listen to that, I said, I've put, you know, I had a little bit more of a disposable income. I've put $1,000 in this game. Actually, it's about $1,200 now. I put $1,200 or $1,300. I've put it on this game.
Because it was a Christmas present, I didn't actually put money in. I've been known to buy a little bit of Zen occasionally.
Yeah, I bought a lot of Zen, and, you know, I bought my Lifetimer. So it's, you know...
I bought the Armitage.
I love that ship, by the way. But
I'm going to try to bribe my friend into giving me the C points for the Vesta.
It's just, it's so much... You might want to log out of Stowe because it caused you're really lagging on Skype.
Yeah, you're lagging like crazy. But yeah, you're going to enjoy that Jupiter uniform. That's the purchase I can recommend anybody who enjoys this game a lot and wishes to spend.
I was actually about to buy it, but I'll wait.
That's the purchase I would recommend anybody who like really enjoys this game. Is the Jupiter uniform, especially if you're going to subscribe or buy a lifetime subscription. That's a really great investment in this game. Is that Jupiter uniform? Because that's a lot of value for how much you're paying for it.
Yeah, it's one of the few uniforms that's actually worth buying.
It's one of the few uniforms in the game that you can look at it and you're like, I buy this as 25th Century Starfleet.
Yeah, it's very... I mean, the guys on Jupiter, Stoke said it the best. This looks 25th century.
I remember that.
These looks like especially the Jupiter veteran uniform.
Yeah,
that looks like something you'd see on a new show.
Yeah, I really love the I mean, I know a lot of people like it. I really love the gold shoulder one. Just goes really well with the dark command red.
Silver goes with silver goes with the 80s yesterday's Enterprise belt. Though.
You know, it doesn't.
Yeah,
okay.
I never really liked gold shoulders or butter shoulders.
I actually put the 80s thing on my gold shoulders. I like it with the gold shoulder. I think it looks pretty slick.
It looks really rad with the silver shoulders, dude.
I agree.
Yeah.
Either way, it looks rad. It's, you know, the same. I said the same thing about the Steam Runner when it came out. That was like the best value. For $10, you got two amazingly good ships.
I think the price should have stayed at $10.
I think it should have just. I think it should have just gone up to like $15. Yeah. I think that would be a more fair price. But it's. You know, you're basically getting the fleet patrol escort for all your characters.
We're getting distracted though. So
we really are.
Let's get back Let's get back to it. The Foundry Daily subsequently turned into a 30-minute repeatable, which made Foundry missions an amazingly easy source. We recently closed a major loophole in Foundry missions in Season 7, which removed dilithium rewards from what many considered exploitative Foundry missions. The number of players who were exploiting this type of mission were vast, so there were several weeks where we aggressively adjusted dilithium rewards in order to keep dilithium earnings back in line with our goal of getting more dilithium into players' hands without using the exploit. Aggressive is kind of an understatement here. Danny boy, due to the tuning we've done, also there's a question mark in the middle of the weave instead of an apostrophe.
Yeah, the
we've done with Season 7. Players are now
known to do that if you copy paste out of Word.
Players are now earning more dilithium than ever, even without the Foundry exploit. Oh, yeah. I have to agree with that. I haven't even been like using the Foundry daily. Like I literally, that's probably not good that I haven't even been touching the Foundry Daily anymore recently.
I've done it a few times here and there when, like,
But I've been getting myself to that refining limit without any real problem.
Oh,
these
yeah, I
days.
mean...
I have to admit, I opened a couple of the Dominion lockboxes, and half of the time I got VIP mining claims. I can max at least 2 characters in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, I have to laugh at this. Right now, I opened, I was given as a, me and one of my fleet mates had a bet on the Super Bowl, and I won.
Did you bet that they'd lose power for 30 minutes?
Oh, I wish. I actually, me and Jaeger kind of had a bet on the Super Bowl, and he gave me, you know, their bet. If the Ravens won, I'd get 15 keys. Same thing with him. So I got my 15 keys. All 15 were VIP.
What?
Yeah, so I have 150. I have yet to do that, believe it or not.
It's 5,000 dilithium.
Oh, I know. I mean, I know.
Every day. For the next 150 days. Dear God in heaven.
Yeah, and that's not on top. I mean, again, we're really digressing here. That's on top of the 400,000 dilithium my main character has in reserve from just doing STFs and the like 12 or 13,000 Omega marks I still have that I haven't turned into dilithium yet.
Dude, I just did the math on it. You could buy almost 67 master keys with that dilithium.
Oh, dear God.
Anyways.
Yeah, anywho.
Concurrently, we also closed a major loophole. Yeah, let's see, that's the last paragraph. We know, based on progression data, that there is further room to add more dilithium to the economy, and so today, that says like way more monetization is coming. And so today, we have added in additional rewards to Foundry missions that grant a daily amount of dilithium in addition to scaling rewards based on the gameplay of the Foundry mission. This now makes qualified Foundry missions an excellent source of dilithium.
If you only play one, because it's only the first mission you play, the rest give EC.
Yeah, the rest is like a 20-hour cooldown, which is surprisingly familiar. Anyways, here's the thing. He's saying that there's further room to add more dilithium to the economy. That could like go one of two ways, and he probably doesn't mean it the way I interpreted it before. Is that they're going to like be adding more like monetization with dilithium, which they probably will. But he probably means like adding like more, putting more dilithium in people's hands. There's room to do more of that. If so, why are you changing this?
Dilithium ore or refined dilithium? Because we do need a refining cap.
Or
we need a refining cap limit, and that'll be addressed later.
Yeah, let's just go through what we're talking about now, and I have a couple ideas on that. So let's just go to what we're here for.
So you want me to just read off the rest?
Yeah, go for it.
All right. As part of this change, and now that we are again question mark in place of an apostrophe,
Copy paste from Word. It's
past our anniversary, perfect world tech, dude. We have removed the wrapper mission that granted the additional 50 fleet marks every 30 minutes for playing a single Foundry mission. We did this for a number of reasons. Here's the part where you need to hang on to your butt, Invaculus. While we want players to enjoy Foundry missions, they should not be the one-stop shop for all rewards in the game. They are now arguably the single best source of dilithium per mission, and they should not also be the best source for fleet marks. Another reason is that fleet marks should be for fleet gameplay, and we will begin adjusting where fleet marks are granted to keep fleet marks in line with our fleet gameplay goals.
Okay, I know we said we're gonna. This is just a simple one.
Pause. Pause. This is Cryptic's ham. I like to translate that. This is Cryptic. Remember when Cryptic forced everybody to go to a security officer on star bases instead of turning in their contraband to the DOF system from anywhere?
Yeah.
This is Cryptic's. This is yet another ham-fisted attempt by Cryptic to force players to play the game the way they want them to play it and not the way the players want to. This is the same thing as before. This is them punching you in the face until you play the game the way you want. Maybe punching the face is a little extreme, but this is their ham-fisted way of forcing you to do things their way and not yours. Okay, go ahead.
The only thing I wanted to just say, if they really seriously triple the rewards you get from the fleet missions, or at least double,
yeah,
I don't think I would complain. I think if they did just that...
If they doubled it, this wouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, if they next patch, they are double, like, for sure, next patch, you will double the amount of dilithium I earn per fleet mission. Because I find the fleet missions a lot of fun. But
Some of them.
I find them all fun, in all honesty.
I can't stand Starbase Incursion.
Oh, okay, yeah, that one, the Starbase defense is...
That one's fun. It's just the second stage is awful beyond reason.
Yeah, it's fun if you can get your entire fleet to go along with you, which we've done a couple times. We've had 20 players on. We've had a lot of fun.
He's talking about Starbase Incursion, though, the one that's in 3 stages.
The five-man one.
Yeah, the 5-man one that's in 3 stages, and the second stage is just this constant Zerg rush of enemies that kill your shields in, like, the first second, and then kill you shortly
But we're digressing.
After. Yeah, go ahead.
Really, if they seriously just doubled what you got, I would be happy. Like, that would really solve a lot of the problems.
It's not worth my time doing something.
Yeah, it's not, like, it really, sadly, is not worth my time when I can go out, finish all my max out my 22 DOS slots, and wake up the next morning, turn them all in for fleet marks, and I'm good. Now you double that reward, and I will have some. I'll in a heartbeat. I'll go in and I'll run those fleet missions because that means I can actually get legitimate rewards to help my fleet out. But
you mean it'll be worth something?
Yeah, who the fuck thought? Oops, sorry, language.
It's okay. It's okay. Like, occasional language is okay. Let's just not go crazy.
Yeah,
on this.
It's just like the way they really, and the same. In all honesty, Romulan marks need to be upped a lot for the missions that they do. The hard cap on Azura Rescue is 24.
Yeah.
No. I'm sorry. It's 18.
So,
you can get 60 from the patrol, and all you have to do is kill 25 waves of enemies.
Yeah, but again...
So let's go ahead and continue. Let's see, we're past our anniversary. While we want players to enjoy Foundry missions, we will, let's see... they are now arguably the single best source of dilithium per mission. They should not also be the best source for fleet marks. Another reason is that fleet marks should be for fleet gameplay, and we will begin adjusting where fleet marks are granted to keep fleet marks in line with our fleet gameplay goals. Oh, Inveculus, you're going to love these goals. Over the next several months, we will be adjusting where fleet marks are granted to be more in line with our original design. Fleet marks are for fleet gameplay. That means that fleet marks will be granted in more places where fleets group up for missions, because the reason you need fleet marks is to benefit the fleet. This leads me to a frequent asked cryptic question that I want to address. Why are the fleet holdings so challenging to complete for small fleets?
Because fuck small fleets, sorry.
Easy. We monitor fleet sizes and holding progress, and we do understand. Blah. I'm sorry, a little bit of a Freudian slip there. We do understand that small fleets are finding fleet holdings to be expensive in both fleet marks and dilithium. Let me take a moment to explain our philosophy behind the fleet holdings so that there is a better understanding of our actions when we adjust economies like this. First, keep in mind that fleet sizes in STOA range from 1 member up to 500 members. You need okay, I'd just like to say something that I caught the first time I read through this. You need 5 people to start a fleet. Now, if you're a fleet with one person... If you're in a fleet with 1 person, 2 things may have happened. Well, 3 things. Either 1, you bribed 4 other people so you could form your own fleet, which is fine, I guess. If you don't want to get fleet invites spammed at you, more power to you. 2, you're the kind of asshole who lured in 4 other people to start your fleet with you and immediately kicked them, in which case serves you right. Or 3, your fleet died. Shortly after
or you're taking the single-man challenge and have no soul.
Yeah,
Which a couple people don't have souls, in my opinion. Anywho.
Okay, when we were crafting the fleet system, we considered 2 options for how fleet marks and fleet progression would behave. There are pros and cons to both options we considered. Option A was that fleet size would determine the maximum tier for fleet holdings. The larger fleet, the higher the fleet holding tiers could achieve. This is how many other MMOs gate guild progression, but we felt that it is artificially limiting to the many active small fleets in STO. Fair enough.
That would have been awful.
That would have been awful. Option B was to allow fleets of any size to achieve all tiers of fleet holdings. The drawback is that because fleet sizes range so much, we had to find a balance so that large fleets had some challenge while still allowing small fleets to achieve all tiers, albeit at a much slower pace.
Much.
If you are in a fleet less than 25 players, then it is expected to be more challenging than the norm.
Notice, the only time they considered the fleet system scaling to the size of the fleet was gating the content instead of actually making the prices scale, which would have made more sense.
Mm-hmm.
Bad design decisions.
When we were first crafting, so from our perspective, we chose the sensible option B, with the goal of ensuring that our active large fleets had a decent challenge and wouldn't complete the fleet holdings overnight. It needed to be a challenge for 500 member fleets. It is a sign that you went through the extreme effort to achieve the goal. Okay, 500 members and 25 are different things. That is a is a completely different matter. You know, you can't like hold like 25 people to the same standard you're gonna hold 500 people.
I mean,
not every fleet is capable of the kind of shit Jupiter Force or Caspian are. So
let me pull up season 6 because I want to look at the release date. Because I know that one fleet just hit Tier 5 Starbase. The first fleet hit Tier 5 Starbase today. It has been since July 12th, 2012 that people have been working on this, and the big fleets are just now getting to Tier 5.
Mm-hmm. They were saying 6 months. 6 months for a fleet of how many people?
Well, it's taken 6 months for a fleet of 500 people.
Uh-huh. 6 months for a large fleet to do it. It's been over that. They're just now getting to Tier 5.
It's been just about that.
It's been over, if it's been 7 months, dude.
6, 7 months. They were close.
But that is not the same thing as a smaller fleet. That is nowhere near. Nowhere near. And that's like simple.
And this is only the beginning of their disdain for small fleets, as we will see later.
Oh, yeah. The end result of this decision is that smaller fleets may achieve maximum starbase sizes, but it is expected to be much harder. You can achieve all tiers, but you are doing so at a great disadvantage, especially if you are under 25 fleet members or your fleet members don't play at least 3 times a week. First of all... Or both, as is the case in Special Tactics. First of all... I'm trying to say this without using an expletive.
Oh, just use the expletive.
I decide when I play. I decide how much it is needed for me to benefit my fleet. I decide that. You do not.
Yeah.
You do not design your gameplay around telling me you should log in at least this many times a week in order to do something. This is recreation. You are not my employer.
I just realized something. Dan Stoll's time with Zynga has affected him because that's...
You're lagging really hard, bro.
You're breaking up, Rogue, too.
That's fine, but like I said, Dan Stoll's time with Zynga has undoubtedly affected him. Because that's how Zynga runs their games. You have to log in every day to do something. And I think that's what they're trying to force... what they're trying to force us to do.
Well, that's the way it's been since the dilithium economy, dude. You have to log in once a day to refine it.
Not if you're a gold member.
Not if you're a gold member, and you can thank Stoked for that. Because Stoked is where Chris and Irish Dark Shadow were conversing about gold member perks they could give, because they were talking about something called... That is something that pops in my head constantly with regards to Stone. That's called operand behavioral conditioning. And some of you may know it by the name of the Skinner box, although people who actually study operand behavioral conditioning do not call it that. That's considered that's not the actual name of it. It's called operant behavioral conditioning, and it's something that pops in my mind time and time again when they talk about stuff like this, where you are expected to log in at least this many times a week in order to accomplish a goal the developer has set out for you, as opposed to your personal goals within the game. That is bullshit.
Oh yeah.
This game,
And everybody at the same time says, I am unique.
Yeah.
this game is becoming more like a job.
Yeah. You know, oh, go for it, dude.
You know, you saw what happened when I started playing it. I was logging in for like 8 hours a day, every day, because I was enjoying it so much. And that rose and fall. But as of now, I only log in once a week, twice.
Yeah.
Telephone.
Twice a week, if that. It's because I'm finding it harder to want to play.
You know, and that's sad to me, and it's sad because you're not the only person, dude. Like,
Yeah,
I mean,
same here.
Our fleet, you know, we have a great fleet. I love the people that I play with, but some of our most hardcore members just don't care anymore, dude. Like, we've lost a lot of the people that we were seeing every day because of the way they've been handling stuff. I mean, even me to that point. Like, I log in every day and I'm on, but I notice myself not playing the game as much. More or less, I log on because I like the people that are in my fleet. I like talking to you guys. You guys are basically part of my fleet. You know, you guys are a sister fleet to us, and you know, that's the main reasons I log on. And most of the time I log on, I don't see anybody I really want to talk to, so I'll just like log back off and go do something, or I'll just doff and, you know, hang around
I've got
chat.
college classes these days, so I have the time at night because I don't really get that much homework, and I just don't feel like playing because it's just so
It's
grind for grind.
Put it this way, guys. I have all of you beat. I probably have most people beat. I find it hard to play this game, and I am home 24/7 because I take care of someone who is bedridden.
yeah, and
That is how bad that I am, like, avoiding the game sometimes.
yeah, and it's sad. I'm the same way. I was talking about this with the guys earlier before I went to go before I left to take my dad to dialysis. I'm home most of my days. I'm home. I'm not doing anything. I'm helping my dad out. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And it's really, like, today I haven't logged on almost all day. I've just been I've been on, but I haven't done anything because why do I need to grind so freaking hard?
Yeah.
You know, and the main reason I still grind is because I like the fleet I'm in, you know, and I like the people I hang out with in the fleet. But it's really starting to become hard to log in every day.
It's gotten so
They're
bad
killing the game.
It's gotten so bad I've forgotten some of the methods of grinding.
Yeah.
I forget about the fucking DOF system.
Yeah, that's
When I
barely
sign
use
in,
it.
it's to grind, and I forget about the fucking thing.
Yeah.
Because
There's
I've got
so
so
many
much other
different
shit I've got to do.
There's so many grinds you can't even grind anymore.
Yeah.
The game is dying.
Yeah.
I don't think the game is necessarily dying, because they are getting a shit ton of money out of lockboxes, and they're getting a shit ton of money from Perfect World. They increased their staff up to 40 people. That is not those are not indicators of a game that is dying, unless you pay attention to the really manufactured outrage that usually populates the sewer. But
then Champions Online happened.
and then Champions Online happened.
Or was that Champions City of Heroes?
City of Heroes.
Yeah.
They were coming out with new stuff, and then they were axed.
Yeah. He's got a point. NCSoft really didn't need to axe them. that was a profitable game.
Yeah, but I understand there was a change of leadership in NCSoft as well.
Yeah, but still, the way
Did they replace it with a gorilla?
See, I mean, that was a very popular game, and I mean, you saw
Lex Luthor.
I mean, but that wasn't just an ordinary. That was one of the more popular. I mean, from what I've heard, that was more popular than Champions. And
yeah.
And I'm not a superhero. This is the only MMO I've ever played and the only MMO I've ever enjoyed. So
it used to be the only one I could stand.
Yeah, and you know it's, you know, we're in the end. I don't care what Daniel Stahl says on the forums. We are the player base. We are the people that pay money. You know, that invest money into this game, and he's alienating us.
We might as well be stockholders because we're still paying their bills.
Mm-hmm.
Where is our say?
I think that's a bit extreme, dude.
No, that's a bit extreme. We are, in a sense, we are, you know, me and you both put up a big investment in this game, and
but you are still you are consumers, but you are not stockholders.
Yeah, no, we don't own any stock in PWE.
You don't own any stock. You can't really do anything outside of like vote with your wallet and occasionally voice your discontent, which is sort of what this roundtable is kind of about.
Again, we're really digressing.
Yeah, we're really digressing here, but like don't like telling me that I have to like play the game the way you want me to play the game according to the goals you have set out for me as opposed to my personal goals and playing the game how I want. I'm sorry, Dan. I got nothing against you, but that is bullshit. Mm-hmm. Moving on. We understand that we could have introduced a handicap for small fleets into the design scaling. But that solution could and would be exploited. Now we're coming back to that thing we were talking about before. The difference between something being exploitative and something being harmful.
Mm-hmm.
Would smaller fleets gaining tiers faster than they are right now be harmful?
Apparently.
Because those are the things you gotta weigh.
There's a solution to that. There's a solution to that. That's so simple. You make the materials needed scaled to the fleet size, but if it's a small fleet, you balance out the cooldowns or how long it takes. You know, I'm not saying like a week, one project. I'm saying a little bit more, maybe.
Yeah, you could do it that way.
Just so you don't sign up for 5 guys. Everything goes into tier 5, and then you have your friends join.
Even if it could be exploitable, you're looking at fleet projects that take days to complete. It's still gonna take months.
Yeah, you know, we're actually, I can no longer say we're a small fleet. We have 200 and hold on one second. We're at 212 members, not including alts. We're probably like 150 members. We're a medium-sized fleet, I'd guess. And we're still struggling, because not everybody wants to give up their dilithium.
Because the exchange rate is so low right now, and they can turn that into Zen.
Yeah.
And
you know,
that's what I've been doing.
Same here.
Same where all of my dilithium has been going.
Same here.
I mean, I guess I could devote my Klingons to it. I mean, I rarely play my Klingons anymore. But
Klingons are worth it for making some good dilithium, to be honest.
Yeah.
Pycanosaurus.
Mm-hmm.
When I bothered to sign in, when I bothered to clock in for the second job, all that dilithium goes to the Z-Store, because guess what I'm doing with it? I'm doing things like expanding my inventory and getting like character slots.
Yeah, you know, you're not, you know, and
I'm not buying all the ships. I'm just getting enough to make it less painful to play sometimes.
Yeah, and you know those, it's really it's in the end it's just sickening. So it is sickening what they're doing sometimes.
Yeah. The end result of this, let's see, this week, let's see, we would end up having to create. In trying to find a way to exploit the system, we would have to end up having to create a wealth of rules and regulations behind how the handicap works, and at the end of the day it is not in line with our goals of ensuring that top-tier fleet progression is a great accomplishment. Congrats, by the way, to the fleets that are just now hitting this tier. Okay. So, basically he's saying, we could have, but then we went, nah.
Basically, it's worth small fleets getting completely butt fucked.
Yeah, I mean,
And he pretty much says that later on.
yeah, you know, just let's. I know I'm probably the worst one. I'm the one that's interrupting, but let's get through the too long didn't read from Daniel Stahl, and then let's just talk about how we
Get to his other 2 posts.
Yeah.
Where he literally destroys his argument.
Oh, keyed. Okay. So let's say 3 times a week that are just now hitting this tier. That said, we continue to I gotta scroll down. And yeah, it's like really slow. Okay, I see the end of his post now. Making some progress. We understand that we could have introduced a handicap. That said, we continue to investigate options that may help small fleets without making it a cakewalk for large fleets. Because of our decision to not limit tiers based on guild size, we will not be scaling all projects based on fleet size. What we will continue to do is find ways for small fleets to play hard and gain the fleet marks and dilithium needed to advance the starbase. While there are always exceptions, for the most part the data shows that the small fleets are more starved for dilithium than they are for fleet marks. This is true.
100. Even the medium-sized fleets, it's true.
Actually, well, it's more like we're slightly less starved for fleet marks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're slightly less starved, but dilithium is larger sums of dilithium are required than fleet marks on projects.
Because they cost so much dilithium. Dilithium is a hard currency to actually make useful because you have to refine it. The refining rate is so low and there are so many sinks that it's ridiculous.
Well, we'll get to that. Thus, we continue to add more dilithium to help all players, and along with that, small fleets. Likewise, even though we've removed fleet marks from the now super dilithium-rich Foundry mission, it's not super dilithium-rich. It's the exact same amount of dilithium that the old daily used to give you once a day. It's not super dilithium rich, and that's if you played a 45-minute mission.
Mm-hmm.
It's less if you didn't.
Fun missions out there.
Yeah, there's some fun missions out there, and I encourage people to go into that Foundry and play, because there's a lot of really imaginative, really creative people making missions, and you should play them. You should enjoy them.
I don't think I will, though. I don't feel inclined to.
Okay.
Captain Revo series, those are all quality missions.
Okay.
I mean,
Likewise, even though we've removed fleet marks from the now super dilithium rich Foundry mission, look for us to further classify events and fleet actions as having fleet marks in the near future. We are also entertaining suggestions to merge fleets or other ways that small fleets can accelerate their progress. Okay, I have a bunch of caveats with this. As much as I love you guys, Andrew, I have a bunch of caveats with this because, like, a fleet is a tightly knit group of people. That's how it started in MMO. That's how guilds started. Mm-hmm. Before we met you, my fleet was mainly composed of people I knew, like people I'd talked to on Skype, people I'd known for years. Luca Polly, David, Aaron, Ari Powerplay, now Imvaculus. People I've known for a very long time. There is a point at which a small fleet begins to lose its identity when working with a larger fleet. And if, like, once your fleet is, like, losing itself trying to survive, what is the point of that? How does that help anybody? How does that enrich anything?
Oh,
Well,
I agree with you 1,000%. And, you know, when I first joined our fleet, we were 6 members strong. It was me, Grant, and the leadership of the fleet. And I loved our fleet. And then, you know, I recruited members. I recruited Jaeger. I recruited Zard. Zard was well later on. But I recruited the people that I was surrounding myself with. People that were fleetless or even in fleets. And we became we're still the leadership of the fleet. The guys at the top. And I have nothing against anybody in our fleet. We have an amazing fleet. The guys at the top, we are still all really close. even though most of us, haven't known each other more than a year, we've become good friends. I mean, in a sense, you guys too. Even though, I consider you guys are friends to me, no matter what. Doesn't matter the fleet name over our heads. It matters that we've all gotten together in Skype. You've been with our leadership, and I've been with your entire fleet a couple times. We all have fun together, and you can't lose that identity. That's why I've never wanted to join Jupiter Force or any of these huge fleets, because you're just a voice that's drowned out among the many, and you can't have a tight-knit group. And sadly, our fleet's kind of becoming that with all these new members that are popping up all day, every day. And it does bug me at points that we have all these people that I don't really know.
And I'd just like to put in here a little bit a thought that crossed my mind when you read that last part of the paragraph. We are also entertaining suggestions to merge fleets in other ways that small fleets can accelerate their progress. Entertain as in look at them and laugh because they entertain us.
I don't think he meant it that way.
Oh, yeah, I don't think he meant it that way.
I don't think he meant that. I don't think he meant that in a derogatory manner. Entertaining, basically. He's listening to people's
feedback. He's thinking
feedback.
about it. That's what he meant to say, but it's very possible that
I don't see that.
Especially
I don't see
considering
them doing that.
his first reply in that.
I don't see them like looking at people's suggestions and laughing, dude, unless those suggestions are utterly preposterous. I don't see them like pointing people like and just like laughing at them at their suggestions. So like merging fleets and others, alliances, we talked about this in the roundtable. Like fleet alliances would probably be a really great way. Like, fleets already do this. Our fleets already do this. But like making it some like sort of semi-official way that fleets can contribute to each other somehow. It's without like people coming onto their starbase to like buy their stuff from their own to buy the other fleet stuff from their own resource pool, which for some reason wouldn't let me buy a fleet retrofit. This is a dirty look I'm giving you right now, Cryptic.
Oh, I was like,
why wasn't I able to, if this is the way, and this is something Brandflakes told you on Twitter, is that this is by design.
Yeah, it is by design. It's not a glitch. You can get I don't know why the fleet ships don't count, but anything in our starbase, all you have to do is come on and you can grab anything out of our requisitions without using your stuff. I mean, Brandon invited me to his starbase to get something from his fleet because they were science tier 4.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it's by design. It's not a glitch, because I felt bad about it, and I did ask. I was like, is this stuff going to somebody else's fleet base and grabbing stuff, is that a bug? And he says, no, that was by design, that was intended. So it's like,
that's kind of nice.
Yeah, I'm glad they at least did that. That's kind of a nice little, alright, look, we know the smaller fleets are going to struggle and they're going to have friends in bigger fleets, so let's help them out.
And I do like that it's from our pool that we buy this stuff when we're on your starbase, and not yours. So otherwise that could have created like all kinds of ugliness with people like going to like bigger fleets and like bigger fleets basically telling them to go screw themselves.
Which they do, because a couple of the tier 5 military fleets are charging $60 million to buy tier 5 ships.
But it's from this other guy's resource pools, though. What are you charging them for?
Exactly.
Convenience.
Yeah.
The privilege.
Yeah, that's what Brandon Brandon made me chuckle. He's like, we're almost military tier 5. If you or any of your fleet mates need anything, just message me and you're more than welcome to our starbase. So
alliances allowing people to come and go on each other's starbases.
As I point out,
that would be simple.
Yeah, since it doesn't fuck with our resources, why do I have to go to my starbase and invite somebody so they can get something out of our fleet base?
To get something out of your fleet base from their resource pool. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't. Why can't it? That's again. Let's just continue, because I do have some thoughts on the fleet merger system.
Okay, so where was I? The small fleets can accelerate their progress. Just as max-level players are now earning far more dilithium than they ever have due to the adjustments that we've made along the way, we will continue to adjust fleet marks in the same way. He's right there. Players are earning far more dilithium. There's a lot of ways. There's a lot of ways to earn that. I had a thought.
It's just
if you
can't refine it.
Well, you can refine it, just not much. But what the thought I had is, if you want to find more ways to earn fleet marks, fleet DOF assignments in the fleet system. Am I on crazy pills? Fleet DOF assignments on the starbase.
Yeah, why aren't there?
Because reasons?
Stupid reasons?
If you want to make lots of stuff for fleet marks, why don't you do fleet DOF assignments that allow people to earn them? The fleet assignments are assisting in construction or emergencies on the base or something, and they earn fleet marks from sending their DOFs to take care of this stuff in the DOF system. You know, not removing them permanently from their inventory, of course. That would be kind of silly. I want to clarify that in case that does happen. I don't want to lose DOFs every time I do a fleet assignment. But you get what I mean.
I'm sending my DOFs to temporal. I'm sending my DOFs to Andrew's base to do turbo lift maintenance.
Oh dear God, no! You keep them away from our turbo lifts.
Actually, I did that, and it succeeded.
Last time that
My
happened,
DOFs can do turbo lift maintenance.
last time somebody did turbo lift maintenance on a starbase, there are still pieces of Origin Station in our starbase.
Dude, I kid you not. My DOFs succeeded at that mission.
I'm pretty sure I saw something from Westwood Hall in their starbase, and I'm trying to wonder what the... I'm wondering how the hell that got there.
That's why you don't leave me in charge.
Jesus, dude. I told you, keep them away from this... I told you, just make my alt account the leader, but no. You had to make Inveculus leader, and look at what he did. God, my poor starbase.
There's Wabbajack,
no complaint.
There's Wabbajack repeatedly graffitied on the walls. What did you do?
I told you, don't leave Shea Gorath in charge, man. Pretty simple.
This is what killed me at the end of the roundtable last time.
You missed literally the best. The best.
Yes, I know.
Oh God.
Jack.
You told me.
The eye shaver.
Just be glad I didn't do the fishy stick.
Ugh.
Oh, please don't edit this out. This is gold. YouTube needs to have this.
Okay.
Especially people watching this and being upset about everything that's going on. They need these laughs.
All right.
We
Let's
should
see.
hold on. I'm gonna add a D's to the call.
Oh boy, I get to meet someone else.
Yeah, he's funny.
Okay, while he's coming in, hopefully this post helps to explain our position and why we continue to make the decisions we do. No.
Yo.
Hi D's. We're having
we
another roundtable.
We're discussing the firestorm that D-Stall unleashed.
We want fleet progression to be a reward for fleet gameplay. We want players to earn more dilithium. We want foundry missions to have useful rewards. We want small fleets to only be limited by group effort, not by artificial caps on progress. We will continue to make progress towards those goals and welcome your feedback. Nothing is ever final in MMOs, and your constructive comments are always valued. Thank you for your understanding. Please use spell check.
Okay.
Okay, before we
Dan,
continue...
Artificial caps on progress. 2.5 million dilithium. Hey, 5-person fleet. Go grind 2.5 million dilithium.
Yeah.
That's an artificial cap.
Okay, before we...
The whole cooldown timer, isn't that by definition an artificial cap?
Yes.
I mean, hello, there's the stunningly obvious one to me.
The it's... anyways. Before we continue, I would like to say that I really feel for Dan here, because I can tell he's trying to do right by people and try and explain these things that they did to people to kind of calm... That the intent was to soothe people's nerves a little bit, just kind of walk through the logic of what they're doing here. But... Dan, you could have waited a little bit longer.
Explaining yourself doesn't help when your explanations are just bad.
Yeah, Like, when your explanations are
When
just
your
sad.
explanations are worse.
Yeah, and
Kinda like
immediately after doing the thing that pissed people off, you could have given them some time. You could have waited some time if you were going to say this.
And this isn't even the worst of it. We've still got his fact check and his total BS to go over.
So,
I mean, we're ankle deep in a freaking over-the-head mound of dumb that has been posted today by Daniel Stahl.
okay, Deez, you're coming in about an hour and a half into this roundtable.
Yeah.
It's taken us an
Oh,
hour and a half.
Those.
Yeah, it's taken us an hour and a half just to get through the first post, so welcome aboard.
Ow.
It was a big post, mind you.
It's a big post.
The other two combined are maybe 2/3 the length, but there's so much more bull here.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and click this next tab. Okay, so some Sterling 191 posted. So if I read this right, non-mega fleets get no help for higher tier projects, and Cryptic might add fleet marks to other things eventually. So
Not encouraging.
Daniel Stahl's reply. Hold on to your button, Veculus. Fleets under 25 are going to have a hard time completing projects. By design.
Go F yourself, small fleets.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
but this is the same person, mind you, that also said a 25-man fleet should be able to complete this in about 7 months.
Dude!
This is the same person that tried to rewrite history with the cloaking bug.
Blug. We're not. But like, dude, if this is the forum topic you created to try and calm people down, not the right
Just
thing to say.
Oops.
Deep Wang.
I remember when Stoke had their segment Dan
Sandstorm.
Stahl said stuff, and that used to be a positive moment because we got spoilers. Now it's a negative connotation because he's trying to rewrite history.
Well, he's not rewriting history here right now. He's trying to clarify why they're doing what they're doing with the Foundry, because they've been monkeying with it for months now. But, dude...
Did you read the patch notes, Deez, or do you have no clue?
No, I just now patched and got on.
Oh, boy.
You know the Foundry Daily that gave you the 50 fleet marks and the 960 dilithium?
Yeah,
Gone.
but I hadn't
It's
even
gone.
gotten to doing yet because I had so much other to do.
It's
well,
gone.
you don't get to do it anymore.
Yep, it's gone.
Totally gone.
The
It's gone.
Foundry Daily, as it has been for over a year, is
It's gone.
Why?
Because reasons.
Literally, because they thought the fleet mark, they didn't like the way people were gaining fleet marks.
Yeah, they didn't like the way people were gaining fleet marks because fleet marks are supposed to be for fleet content. So instead of increasing the amount of fleet marks you get from fleet content, they removed the fleet marks entirely from the Foundry Daily. They removed the
And did
Foundry
nothing
Daily,
else.
and now instead of doing a Foundry Daily, you can play any Foundry mission, and as long as it and depending on what the average playtime is, as long as it qualifies to give you rewards, you can earn up to 1,400 dilithium, which is about the same a day, which is about the same as the Foundry Daily was. Anyways,
So what the hell is the point from changing it? What like it was in season 6?
experience
God.
beige.
Because reasons?
Deep hurting. Deep hurting. Sandstorm.
Sandstorm.
I would do that once a day and have done with it.
Yeah, now it's
God.
yeah, Deez, it's
Oh, hi,
gone.
Aim.
They completely removed it.
Okay, so there's
There's
more
a
in the
move that
fact.
sure to annoy
There's
nobody.
more. There's more. There's so much more.
There is.
Okay,
There
so that was just the first third of this post. And I'm waiting for AIMP to go away because AIMP popped up very unwanted-like just a second ago. Okay, so that was the first third of the post. The second is, we will be adding more fleet marks, just not on Foundry missions. We will be making several changes up until the May update in order to bring fleet mark earning back in line, including reclassifying the difference between events and fleet actions, adjusting fleet marks, increasing or decreasing them, with a focus on giving more fleet marks in fleet-based events, possibly merging fleets, possibly offering other incentives for small fleets. Here's a thought.
What you said. This comes back to what you said before the round table.
Here's
if
a
you
thought.
were going to do this, why didn't you wait?
Yeah, if you were going to do this, why didn't you wait until you did it to make
That way
these
it would
changes?
balance out.
Yeah, you know, if they would have just said, okay, we're taking your Foundry Daily offline, you know, we're ditching the fleet marks. But the good news is, all the missions that reward fleet marks now reward double the normal fleet marks, or double the fleet marks they used to.
Or special missions that are for fleets.
Yeah.
Like special, lengthier, more challenging missions for fleets to participate in, not STFs, mind you. You could like do whatever you want with like story content or what have you, like special quests that a fleet could participate in together to earn fleet marks. And if they were all from the same fleet, they earned extra.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, you can just have the people detect if they're in a fleet together and give you an award for it.
Yeah.
That'd be work, though. We could just nuke and nerf.
So, third, data shows most small fleets are far more starved for dilithium than they are for fleet marks. Again, this is true to an extent. There is need for both, but more need right now for dilithium than fleet marks, thus today's change. More fleet marks are coming, just not into the Foundry play. So, again, if this wasn't like an emergency change that you desperately needed to make right now,
Why didn't you wait until you had the other stuff ready to replace it?
yeah, why didn't you wait until you had this other stuff and then you could replace it and everything would be back to neat?
Also, since Skype just reminded me, I like to take a bit of a moment and say happy birthday to Alec.
Oh, happy birthday, Alk.
Happy birthday.
Oh,
Even though it's California, so I'm on retard time, so I'm 3 hours behind y'all.
I'm on Central
Happy
Standard
birthday,
Time.
Nerf.
Here's your birthday present. Nerf, 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 nerf. Oh, and by the way, we now
I
made
got
the
a birthday
Galaxy
present. I got a birthday present today from Star Trek Online. It was the removal of the global cooldown caused by using the grenades on the adapted Mako rifle.
Yeah, that's gonna be so broken now.
I can machine gun grenades out now.
I might have to respect that.
It's awesome. Although it doesn't make the thoom sound when it fires.
It needs it. If that's the only thing it needs is the just the classic thunk sound that the noob
The
tube makes.
blooper sound.
Yeah.
Thunk. Thunk. They just need that weapon in game as a separate weapon, the grenade launcher. And I don't mean the blast assault. I mean literally
like a photon grenade launcher.
Yeah, like
It's
a break barrel.
It's in Elite
shot.
Force. You have like a photon torpedo launcher in Elite Force.
Hey.
Didn't they have some kind of RPG type thing in Star Trek Insurrection? When they were fighting against the Sona?
The ISO something disruptor.
The isolytic.
You know what the
Potato
one
gun?
thing this game needs is
The
an Argo
thing
shuttle.
Worf had in Veculus in Star Trek.
Yeah.
The Federation potato gun.
No, we literally need the Argo in this game, like now.
Yeah, but the game isn't really designed for like mounts. They'd have to
Oh,
design.
Pure Space Elite wouldn't be fun with an Argo.
It would be fun,
Tell me
but
you
I
wouldn't
don't
enjoy
think
running
they would
over
allow
Armac.
it. I don't think they would allow it in like STFs and stuff.
Oh, I
dude.
know, but tell me it wouldn't be fun to
It
run
would
over
be
Armac.
fun. It would be fun.
Yeah, but
dude,
that's
Armac
still
would
a Tommy to mow down Borg with.
Armac would John Cena the freaking Argo. He would just catch it. He would catch it and kick it, and it would fly in the opposite direction, the way Armac is right now, dude. It wouldn't do crap to him.
It still would be hilarious to attempt it. Oh, gosh.
Okay, so what's this other post I got? Let's see. An hour and a half. An hour and a half.
It's a
And
good start.
how much how much of that have we spent on topic?
45 minutes?
20.
The next post calls him Dirty D.
You're a bad
Dirty D's dirty because he's Dirty D.
And I have AC/DC in my head now. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Wheeling and dealing is his game.
Oh my god. Stall. I mean,
I got nothing against the guy, but dude,
your decision making, man.
too soon.
Your decision making,
Like,
bro.
too soon
Does
to
he
make this change?
decisions, or just like throw darts at a board? Like,
Too soon to make this change. If you were gonna like change things down the road, you could have just waited until then. So too soon to make this call, man, and too soon to post about it. You should have just waited for the flames to die down, so cooler heads could prevail. But as it is, you've got this unbelievable shitstorm falling on him right now, and I got a feel for him. He's trying. He's trying to explain why, and he's doing so in a very reasonable manner. And he's just gonna have so many people flaming him into oblivion for even posting something after making that change.
Yeah.
it's when you take the individual pieces by themselves, yeah, they all sound reasonable, and then you set them next to each other and look at them and go, "Huh?"
They do, huh? Yeah, oh.
Like this one says this, and what?
Oh.
Like he put a lot of thought into that post, and I applaud him for reaching out like that. But dude, wait a while.
Broham. Talk to you on a
Timing.
Yeah,
Timing!
you don't try, and I hate to use these words because they are so oversaid. Like you can't like if you watch any of the podcasts or anything, you can't say these words without prefacing it beforehand that you don't. This gets said way too often when it comes to Star Trek Online. But it's you don't like try and talk down somebody. You just smacked in the face. You don't like sit them down. I just slapped you in the face. We're going to talk about why. No, if you had a good reason to slap someone in the face, you at least wait for them to calm down first. Come on.
I want to talk about how I just completely smacked you.
Now tell me, how did that make you feel?
I am of the opinion that it was wonderful. That I should do it again. But I want to hear input.
I'm entertaining feedback. Oh, dude.
Stall, bro.
That's
Come
it.
on.
Isomagnetic.
Don't even call him bro. I mean,
Homie.
he's not worth it.
Isomagnetic. I have nothing
Dude.
against Stahl. I got nothing against.
He really is doing something
I-
that most
I'm
of us
going to
would
college to do it.
I mean, he's doing literally what most of us would probably give a testicle to do.
Yeah.
I'm going to college to do it.
He's doing
Yeah.
something any of us would love to do, something that Lord Ice is learning C++ to do.
No, that was just a happy coincidence. My school teaches C++ as the basis for its computer programming courses. But I went to that college and decided to go to computer programming because I want to work on this game.
Mm-hmm.
That was just a happy side effect.
But he's doing something like all of us would love to do. He's living the geek fantasy, and even better, what he's doing is shaping Star Trek. CBS essentially CBS looks at Star Trek Online basically as the continuation of Star Trek for the near future.
We kind of have to. It's all we got.
Yeah, well, you've also got the expanded universe, but when it comes to like canon Trek that they may refer to somewhere down the line, they're looking at Star Trek Online because they have direct input on this.
They literally
They
added
themselves
the new Enterprise.
They are the ones who initiated the dialogue with Perpetual back in the day to develop Star Trek Online. This is their investment. This is their vision of Star Trek for the immediate future.
Oh yeah.
So
and,
he's living
they
something we
are-
would all dream about. He's being able to like shape the Star Trek universe for what's probably going to be years to come, and we would all love to do that.
And look, in the end, and we're not ending, but this is our most of our favorite games. We all play this game.
Yeah.
We all really do enjoy playing it most times. They've made some really stupid decisions. There's no doubt.
Mm-hmm.
But we, in the end, are having a lot of fun with this game. I mean, most of the time we're having a lot of fun. I mean, Deez is in a... what looks
When
like
you
a-
disintegrate an entire wave of rebel Klingon ships with cannons, scatter volley, 2 wind torpedoes.
Yeah. I mean, and, it's... and then you launch a torpedo that just completely decimates the poor guy in front of him, in front of you.
I'm the mutant.
I say that as I watch Deez launch a tricobalt and turn a typhoon inside out.
I am the mutant here. I would love it. I love the times when I can avoid combat completely. Like
Sometimes.
I would love it that like this game needs more commendation checks and dialogue to avoid combat. It needs more like stuff, like the stuff that Kestrel's working on, where like checks what your race is, and like this NPC will respond to you differently depending on what you are.
It needs to be more Star Trek.
It needs to be more Star Trek, and it needs to be more of a custom experience for each player, where they can like choose to approach a situation however. Like as befits their play style and their character, rather than simply being railroaded into like brutally murdering a bunch of people. But I have a lot of fun with this game too. I'm writing up like Foundry missions. I was writing up Foundry missions for the daily, in fact, for like the 30-minute Foundry. Like the 30-minute cooldown Foundry thing, I was writing up because I didn't want to like just do like the same Foundry mission over and over, and I didn't want to like just constantly do Royal Rumble, although I've heard great things about it. But what I wanted to do is just like write a bunch of really short world building sort of stories. Like you just get sent to like this planet, to like check on like the Federation's investments on this neutral world, where they're contracting for like some kind of research, and there's just like this almost a faux social zone for you to like run around in and like talk to people and like get a feel for like what this place is, I
had actually planned an entire trilogy based around the backstory for one of my characters. I'm waiting on art assets for that one.
Yeah, I was just gonna like do this. It was gonna be something really simple, all dialogue. Just like running around and just like talking to people and like looking at an environment that looks pretty, and really simple, just pure story. Something to like add variety to that daily grind everybody does for the fleet marks, for the dilithiums and such. But well, shit.
There goes that plan.
There goes that plan.
Right out the window.
And again, this isn't gonna fix that. This isn't gonna fix that. This has been around for so long. This isn't gonna fix that because
I look forward to the next deluge of exploitation missions.
Yeah, the next deluge of missions that have one enemy group, and then you sit there and you make yourself some coffee and you watch some Netflix for 45 minutes, and then you click a console and
it's over.
It's over. Have a Coke and a smile. You just got 1,400 dilithium.
Coke and a smoke, man.
So they've made it so I have to spend upwards of an hour to do it instead of just doing it once a day.
So I can
Doing any mission I wanted.
come to your computer and like move your mouse a little bit so it doesn't log you out, and then just go play Skyrim for 40 minutes.
No. You kill a squad. You go watch an episode of Star Trek. You come back and claim your dilithium.
Well, you'd have to keep coming back so it doesn't auto-log you out.
Yeah, but you can do that.
Yeah. But like
I do that all the time.
I'm just going to like when those show up, I'm going to do them. I'm just going to like fight an enemy group and then like stand by a console for 41 minutes. I'm going to play Spartan Ops.
This is one situation where people with a cat would have an advantage.
Yeah.
Get one of those drinking bird things. Have it keep pressing space.
I'm going to pull up. I'm going to pull up a guide of Star Trek, like DS9 or Voyager episodes, and I'm going to pick one. I am going to kill the enemies, and I'm going to watch that mission.
I'm honestly just gonna go hop on SF Debris, watch a few of his reviews, and
SF Debris is pretty fun. I've been getting into him.
I'm gonna make so much progress on other games.
yeah. Oh, shit. Beat Skyrim. Next game.
I'm just gonna like go back and like beat Armored Core 5, come back and collect my dilithium.
Dear God.
That's what I'm bothering to play.
Oh. Anywho,
And there you go.
well, what about ideas for a fleet merger system?
I don't know about fleet mergers, but fleet alliances. Fleet mergers,
Not a true merger in the sense that
not like a merger, but like fleet alliances. Because a merger, you're getting like really technical stuff, and then, like from what he said, like we could have made them scale, but then we went, nah, I don't think they're gonna do like mergers. Besides, if you merge your fleets, you're losing like the fleets that are being merged, depending on the size, and I assume it would depend on the size of the fleet, which fleet would like stay with its assets. But that other fleet is losing all the work they did and all like the blood and sweat they poured into their starbase. So I don't think they should. I think they should keep their starbase.
This is why I was thinking of a different kind of merger.
Yeah, but just like an alliance where people can contribute to each other's fleets in some manner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The merger, the only merger I was thinking of was one where you keep everything, but instead it's still two separate starbases. You have Starbase A and Starbase B. Let's say only two
station and whatever your base is called.
TARDIS.
Saw that coming.
Yeah, our fleet. The fleet leader's a huge fan of
So am I.
But either way, so you'd keep your fleet name as well. You know, you guys, Special Tactics, we're still the Temporal Directive. The way it works is your starbase gets upgraded to what our starbase is at. You get the exact same levels, and it becomes one pool. You guys are donating to our starbase, to the starbase that accepts the merger. Both starbases...
And in return, our starbase ranks up with yours.
The way it works is we get 50% of whatever you got, whatever your progression is. So say you guys have 50,000 in each. We get 25,000 in each of our tiers because you guys were at 50,000 for each. And in return, you guys, it becomes one fleet. The one fleet starbase, ours, or not one fleet starbase. Your starbase gets upgraded to exactly what ours is. You have all the same upgrades. You get the tier 4, in our case, you get a tier 4 starbase, tier 4 military, tier 4 science, and tier 4 engineering. And it becomes one shared pool. You guys are actually donating to what our fleet is at. So you are all of a sudden, whatever projects you guys would have would get canceled. And you guys would start doing our projects. But it's still your starbase, and it's still your still your starbase, still everything that pertains to that. Same name, you get to keep your fleet name. The only difference is it's now, it's working with our starbase instead. Does that make a little sense?
I would thank the world for that system.
They would never do that though.
Oh, I know they'd never, but
it's too fair.
A man can dream, right? And how about this? I mean, even if they put it on the Zen store for like 2,000 Zen, I would buy that in a heartbeat. And, maybe you can only do it with the maximum of 2 fleets. Only 2 fleets can join the larger fleet. That way it's not too overly broken. And say if, we're maxed out in one of the tiers, then nothing happens to set that dilithium. Or to that, we don't get the bonus for that. You only get the bonus for whatever tier they're at. And then if it's over a certain, limit, then boom. You only get a maximum amount of experience. That seems kind of fair. I mean, I guess.
Yeah, it was something that they would never do because it immediately advances the smaller fleet starbase to being basically equivalent to the other fleets, and that's not something that they... If that's something that they would have had in mind, it's probably something they would have... They would have just done scaling instead. But, that's,
like I said,
that's not going to happen, yeah.
You know, kind of a... I mean, in the end, it's a good idea, but obviously they wouldn't do something like that.
Yeah, they wouldn't do that.
Makes too much sense.
But the alliance system that you're talking about, where you guys can come onto our starbase, I would be, you know, even if you don't have to contribute to our starbase, because it's still, you know, you're using your pool of resources.
Yeah, it's still our stuff that we're using.
Yeah, you know, it's using your pool,
yours.
but you have, and we have the ability to go to your starbase.
Yeah.
You know, where it's a shared, it's basically if, you know, when you go up to the map, you choose which starbase you go to, Origin Station or the TARDIS.
You can't tell me Starfleet doesn't share resources. They just pop in wherever on the shows and resupply.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, you know, obviously...
And it's not like it's hard to get to a TARDIS. I mean, the TARDIS.
And our starbase is the TARDIS Mini. Or our embassy is the TARDIS Mini.
I think the next, like our embassy is Westwood Hall. I think the next one depends on whatever it is. Like whatever the next holding is. I'm holding I'm holding out for some survey station on some godforsaken asteroid somewhere.
I would be... That'd be... Okay, are we done with the roundtable, or do you want to continue?
Not quite. We've still got the most bullshit post of all.
All right, we'll cover that, and then I'm going to
right.
invite one last person into the call after we're done here.
Okay, hang on. I gotta... Okay, isomagnetic disintegrator. They really love that ISO prefix.
Really?
So what's
that was the energy RPG.
So what is... Well, it's not an RPG if it's like fires energy. It's not rocket propelled. It's not a grenade.
It's not a grenade.
But
Still an RPG.
what is that post? So how long
I
ago...
just put it in the thing.
How long ago was this, perchance?
Today, 6:57 p.m. versus the one we just covered was 6:30.
All right, well, hang on. I gotta
Their
wait
time.
for Skype to let me copy it because it doesn't really like me running a recorder at the same time I'm copying and pasting crap. Paste and go.
Who you kidding? Skype doesn't like you actually using it.
Microsoft!
Shakes fist.
So yeah, this
Damn
post
you,
was the
Palmer!
last one this post that we're about to cover was the last one he made, and it was about 4 hours ago. This is the last we have heard from Daniel.
We haven't heard anything from Daniel Stahl since we don't know where he is.
He's
We
in
can
that.
only assume that he's been abducted.
He's in that white T-shirt that we talked about in the last.
He's been
the last
Daniel
one.
Stahl has been abducted by ninjas. Let's see.
Oh.
No, he's been abducted by the angry fan base.
There are maybe like 2 people watching this who are going to get what that joke was.
I know, but still.
I'll be watching this.
Oh, this is the
Right
second.
next
This
to
is
Apollo.
the second this is posted. I'm gonna toss it in our fleet message of the day.
Okay. So, let's see. Yes, we are earning more dilithium, but what's the point unless the refining cap is increased to reflect this? All right, Daniel Stahl, here we go. Average max level player refining per day is nowhere near the cap yet.
What?
I'm sorry. I actually just coughed up. Oh, that did not feel good.
Average max level player refining per day is nowhere near the cap yet.
Guys, stop trying to kill me here.
I got a head desk. Give me a moment.
That might
Same.
theoretically be true if you count, every character most of the max player characters
Yeah,
have.
that's probably true if you're counting alts.
Yeah, and oh dear God.
So average max level player refining per day is nowhere near the cap yet. Once the average dilithium refined per day
God,
by
Daniel.
by max level player, dude, you're just digging, man. Stop.
I don't understand. I cannot understand what he means by that.
Does not compute.
This is the first time I have seen him come out and bold-faced.
Does he think you can't get 8,000 lithium in a day?
Does he?
I've had characters get that by accident.
With the sheer amount of grind there is, you could get several times that a
Like,
day.
the average max level player plays a shit ton of STFs. Anyways. And they're playing Morihan, and they're getting marks, and they're getting all kinds of stuff that can be converted into dilithium. So,
and now the VIP mining claims.
now the
You
VIP
can go
mining
loop
claims that Andrew has for 8 million years now.
So you can have it until the end of the fucking year.
Yeah, you can literally get 6,000 dilithium in 6 minutes there.
Oh my god, dude. I'm sorry. This is just...
6,500 if you do
Once-
it during the event.
We have somebody in our fleet. We have 2 people in our fleet that have... one has 11 tunes and hitting the 88,000 and hitting the cap with every one of his characters. Another one has 7 characters and he's hitting the fucking cap with every one of them.
When I play, if I'm not burnt out that day, I can make that easy.
Yeah.
It's
Really
so
easy.
retarded.
So can I. If I
It's
decide
like
to
2 hours,
do all,
if that.
if I
Klingon
really
players can do it in like an hour.
Yeah.
The
I
people
push-
in this conversation can roll through all of the STFs in about half an hour and do that.
if I really pushed through all of the I'm tired of this stuff, I could do that, and I've got 5 max characters and preparing and starting to level a 6.
Do you even lift?
Once,
Oh my God.
once the
I have
average
to-
dilithium refined per day by max level players gets closer to the cap, we'll consider it.
It's over the cap.
There
It
are
might as well be over.
There are 2 additional big changes coming in May that will greatly improve a fleet's abilities to complete projects. I'm just not at liberty to talk about them yet. Again, if you were going to do this in May, why didn't you make these changes in May, and there wouldn't have been nearly as big of a problem as there is right now. Planning. Foresight. Timing! We have a small fleet ourselves, and I am looking forward to the big, because they're really hyping what's coming in May, and I'm really looking forward to it. Listening to the listening to Daniel Stahl on like Priority 1, or not Daniel Stahl, it was Our Vera on Priority 1. He was really excited. He was really fanboying about getting to talk to Denise Crosby, and that's his enthusiasm is very infectious there, so I am kind of interested in seeing what they're going to come up with in May, and I'm also like listening to Daniel Stahl. He's very excited in like the Massively podcast, so I am looking forward to what they're saying in May. And this is not about that, but like if you're going to do this in May, you should have waited until May in order to like make these changes, and you would have like knocked all that stuff out, like moved things along, according to your designs for like fleet participation, and you wouldn't have had to come on the forums repeatedly to explain why you're doing this. But we have a small fleet ourselves with no cheaty dev accounts either, and we're only at tier 3, so we understand how challenging it can be if everyone isn't playing the right content or contributing. My god, Inveculus, they're beating us. No.
A small fleet of about 100 people.
They're small. They have like 40 people in the studio max, and I'm pretty damn skippy. There's not all of those people in their fleet, so.
Yeah, because Brandon is in SSC, I believe is the name of his fleet.
Yeah.
So, I asked him about it, and, he told me that it's not a lot of players in that fleet, so... Daniel.
We are beginning the tuning process that will get us to where we want to be for the big May update, and that includes adding new things and balancing existing things. Fleet marks will be coming common rewards. Spell checker for group queued gameplay, whereas Dilithium will be focused on more solo mission gameplay. It's unfair for me to like pick on him for his spelling right now, but I'm doing it.
Well, technically, it is spelled correctly.
Yeah,
Just
it doesn't,
not the
doesn't
right
catch it.
words.
Grammar.
Grammar!
Will be focused on more solo mission gameplay. I'm not a problem with that. Dilithium being focused on more solo missions.
It makes a little bit of sense.
I mean, as long as they don't screw with STFs again, I'll be fine with it. Just leave my STFs alone.
Dude, why'd you say that?
Oh, balls.
now they're definitely going to mess with it.
Bollocks! Shit!
No dilithium for STFs.
Just edit that part out,
Again?
please.
STF's cost.
No, that's
dilithium
staying.
now.
Shut up.
So everybody will know.
Good ideas. Stop that.
STF's cost dilithium, and all
Shut
you do
up
is repair
before you
comma rays.
Oh, shut up.
Damn comma rays anyway.
God damn it, it's disabled again!
I want an STF where I pilot a comma ray and I kill things.
Oh, Eveculus, do you remember the days when the chat servers were down? Comma ray disabled.
Oh god, you know what? This is going back to the season 7 roundtable. We were talking about the Miranda becoming a random Genesis torpedo.
Yeah.
Okay, give us a fighter pet, a Miranda fighter pet, that has an incredibly small chance of suiciding the enemy and becoming a planet.
But eventually that's going to bug, and it's going to happen 100% of the time, and
I
you're
would
not
like
going to
to
be
see-
able to move because
I
the
would
entire
like to
system is
see-
going to be planets.
I would like to see a dev just do that in the middle of a fleet action.
Of course,
at
you
one
can
point.
just have the planet collapse again afterwards because it's
because you
inherently
use
unstable.
proto-matter, because you cut corners. But you could, like, I would love to see like a dev just do that during a fleet action at some point. Just like
Just hop in a
just like
Miranda,
pop in. Just,
random planet.
But can we kind of beam across the planet back to our train of thought where we're supposed to be?
okay, where was I in this post?
Yeah, let's try to keep this under 4 hours this time.
Hey, Deez, I gotta show you something.
Put your
Okay.
pants back on.
You didn't do the sound effect, man.
We appreciate that there is frustration about losing the fleet marks in the Foundry, but fleet marks were never intended for solo-based gameplay. Balancing is no fun, but we hear the suggestions that trying to get in the groove with a standard set of content is important. That is where we are trying to go with without horking the economy.
Too much.
I like the wording there. That's where we're trying to go without horking the economy.
Well, let's not break it more than we already did.
And to answer the naysayers, Stowe has had its best month of growth ever, and the game is only going to get bigger, especially this summer. Big surprise, when you make really awesome mission content and put it up there, along with a ship that people are nostalgic for and love, people play your game.
And the fact that it's not
When
a
you
bad ship, it's actually, I would say it's one of the best free ships available in the game.
The Ambassador pisses me off.
Not that,
Why
you know,
isn't the
Deez-
galaxy this gorgeous?
Not that Deez didn't run the mission 36 times and got the ship twice, but that's another point entirely.
And they
I am
extended
not
that,
that-
by the way.
Mm.
They extended that to the 18th.
Yeah, because of
Oh,
how bad
guys,
it's bugged.
I just realized something. I think I figured out why they posted this. There are so many people getting on and playing that mission that is bugging the servers a lot, and they needed to get people to quit playing. They needed to get people to quit playing so that the servers wouldn't melt.
Oh,
Buy a
man,
new
grab
server.
those
I think this game like really desperately needs like a second mega server.
Yeah,
Yeah, it needs at least another live server.
It needs a lot of shit.
Like moving
This
on.
game needs a new E EP.
Like moving on.
I wouldn't say that.
I wouldn't go that far. Dan Stahl is responsible for a lot of the awesome stuff that is in the game, and the man when the man puts his nose to the grindstone, he does a really good job. He's just he's really
It's just he's being whipped by PWE.
he's being he's being whipped by PWE, but also he keeps coming back to this forum topic. Stop. Just let it die down.
He hasn't come back in 4 hours.
I know.
It's been 4 hours since the last time he posted.
I know, but he finally figured out that he's like his posting here immediately after making this change is fanning the flames of this. You need to let it die down a little first. But moving forward from that, and to answer the naysayers, let's see, removing the marks from the Foundry needed to happen.
Huh?
And since it was scheduled to come off after the anniversary, it did. We will get fleet marks back into more appropriate content quickly as we did after Season 7 launch. Ed.
No,
I think that was
things that are
supposed.
scheduled. Telling people they're scheduled.
You know, like
Yeah.
also misspelled, but that's supposed to be past tense. After season 7 launch.
Or he could have said after the season 7 launch.
But
I appreciate that we don't always make good decisions.
hang on, let me scroll down. Let's see. I appreciate that we don't always make good decisions. We do listen to feedback and we do adjust in order to make things better for everyone. They did that after the Season 7 launch, which is one of the reasons why I'm not so as pissed off right now as some other people have been. As a lot of the people in this forum topic clearly are. Season 7 proved they do listen, and they are trying to do, and he has been trying to do good by people by trying to calm things down, although his attempts are really ill-conceived in this particular instance. And early. But if, you know, like, doing something, like, scheduling stuff and doing it is fine, but scheduling stuff and doing it when you know you're not going to be ready until months down the line to balance things out is not. So
look at the next post after his.
Oh dear.
Look at the signature.
Something happened in Stowe. Iconians.
So we have
Also the post itself.
So we have a game mechanic to acquire. This is a different post, so like for the people who are listening. So we have a game mechanic to acquire a much-needed in-game currency for fleet progression. Then we take that away, despite telling you guys we're giving you more ways to earn fleet marks. But don't worry, even though we don't have a solution ready, despite this game mechanic being here for a considerable period, knowing it was being exploited, just keep calm and relax, knowing that more ways to get fleet marks are coming in the future. Maybe, eventually, and they could be thoroughly tested. Possibly, but hey, if you don't like it, then just merge your fleet with a larger fleet, because at Cryptic we don't care about individuality or giving you more options anymore. You just maintain lockstep with the rest of the mega fleets in stone. If you don't like it, too bad. We'll get to it when we want to, if we want to.
Pretty much. I think Iconians just summarized exactly what Dan Stahl took 3 posts to say.
Dan Stahl is an Iconian.
Works for me. 2:45. Just mark that down. 2 hours 45 minutes.
Around there.
It is?
Yep, that's how long it's been.
Since the call started.
Yeah.
We gotta get going.
Alright, enough. Alright. We've had our fun.
Yeah.
Poking fun. Shall you sign us out?
Okay. Wow. Dan. I see what you're trying to do here, and I appreciate what you're trying to do here, don't get me wrong, but, sir, not the right time to do it. Could have given people, you could have given it some time so cooler heads could prevail, or you could have just done this when you scheduled like the other stuff to be done, so that the transition was as seamless and as possible and did not jar people or upset massive swaths of people who play your game. I still enjoy your game. I'm still looking forward to what you're going to be doing in May. I'm really interested. I will say that I originally wanted to roll a Romulan character, and when I heard Star Trek Online was coming, that was the first thought in my head was I was going to roll a Romulan because screw JJ. Because screw like what the JJ movie did to the Romulans. I also read Countdown, which was horrible, and like playing as a Romulan who was an actual badass would give me catharsis after reading how them turn Nero into like the Wesley of supervillains. He won a battle with V'ger with his mind. Deep Wang!
Kirk could pull that crap off.
The next roundtable we do will be full of rants about random science fiction. We won't even have a point.
Oh god, I just thought about something. Most likely our next roundtable will be after the next Star Trek movie.
Which I am not
yes.
going to watch.
Star Trek
Oh,
into
yeah.
Lens Flare?
Star Trek what?
Into Lens Flare.
Oh dear god.
I am looking forward to this movie.
I will watch it with an open mind. I will not go in as a Star Trek fan. I will go in...
Open to how much it sucks.
I'll watch it as a Star Trek fan. I'll watch it as a Star Trek fan.
No, I'm going to watch it twice. I will say this. I will watch it once. The first time I'm going to watch it is going to be as a moviegoer. The second time I watch it, I'm going to watch it.
Will be torture.
I will watch it. I'm probably in the minority among this call because I actually don't have that many qualms with a JJ movie because I understand it on a very practical level. And I am interested to see what they're going to be doing with this movie as well. So I will watch it as a Star Trek fan, and I'll watch it because there's also the thing like the JJ movie. I saw Star Trek 5 in theaters with my parents. I saw Star Trek 6 in theaters with my parents. The 2009 film, for all of its problems, was the first time that I've actually seen Kirk and Company on the big screen in a very long time, and I watched it with my parents. So, I watched it with my dad. We both went to see it. We both had a blast. It was a fun movie to watch, and I can say that as a Star Trek fan and as a moviegoer. So I'm interested to see where he's taking this. The rumor is like there's some kind of rumor going around that that Benedict Cumberbatch was playing Khan. I don't know if this rumor he came out. There was a rumor that he came out and said it. I don't know if that's substantiated or anything. I hope not. But if he is playing Khan, then I at least hope they have the presence of mind to be doing Space Seed and not Wrath of Khan.
I think Wrath of Khan was good in its own right, but
yeah, Wrath of Khan is the kind of movie that you don't remake. Like it's like Escape from the New York or The Thing. You don't remake it.
Which is kind of funny because The Thing was a remake.
The Thing was a remake, yes. It was a remake of The Thing from Another World, which was itself an adaptation from a horror story called Who Goes There, I think.
But it's just, by the time you got done with it, it was so far different from the original, it didn't matter that it was technically a remake.
It didn't matter, and it stood up on its own because it was so well written and so well made, and still looks really good with all the practical effects that it had.
Also really disgusting.
What's the point? That's the point. It's The Thing. But at least it doesn't look like a plant monster like the black and white movie. It doesn't look like an 8-foot tall swamp thing, I think, is what it looked like, right? Like the guy in the ice in the movie?
I don't even remember.
I watched it a long time ago, and
I think I watched it when I was a kid and never since.
Are we still recording?
Yes, we are. So that was the Roundtable. Before,
sorry, it just looks like I wonder if we're still recording.
Well, we were talking about the Star Trek movie, so we were still going.
Taken.
But before we go any further,
oops.
That was the Roundtable for February 14th, 2013. Dan. I hope you're okay.
And he thought Stowe was out of his future for a while.
Dan, I hope you're okay right now.
Just when I think I'm out, they pull me back in.
I hope you're doing all right, Dan. And judgment, too soon for these changes and also making this post too soon, dude.
Too soon.
Too soon.
Just too soon, man.
Plus, there's the whole Valentine's Day. This is how much we love you.
Go fuck yourself. I mean, what? I'm sorry.
We love our players, except small things.
Those guys can go dig a hole somewhere.
In Phantasy Star Online, they just hung hearts everywhere on Valentine's Day.
I hate small fleas so much it makes my eyes bleed.
I'm going to submit it for the official record. I hate Valentine's Day.
They just changed the music in the main server rooms.
I don't hate Valentine's Day. I just really don't like it much.
You occasionally saw Amy Rose and Sonic walking around, but
we're still recording.
Almost
bye,
relevant.
everyone. I'll see you guys later. So later.
Bye.
Bye.
Plah.